Hi Cancer, welcome to the Manifesting You YouTube channel. This is your love and relationship tarot reading for the month of February 2017. I know we are 1 week into this month, but I kind of like doing readings in the midst of the energy. So I have shuffled, and without further ado, let's get started. Okay, Cancer, the first card here is going to represent your expectations, hopes, and fears for love in the month of February. The second card is going to represent the obstacle or the challenge to overcome. And the third card is going to represent the realization or the outcome. Dang. Okay, Cancer, so let's look at what you are hoping for, your expectations, fears for love. We have the Five of Wands in reverse. So this is interesting. You do have quite a bit of fire energy going on. So you might be dealing with an Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. It could also just be kind of this inner turmoil, this inner conflict within oneself. It could also be in a relationship. When we have the Five of Wands, it's like there is more than one person involved in the situation. There could be a few people involved. There has been some struggle, there has been some battle, and I feel that for this month of February, you're just wanting, maybe you've had a difference of opinions, maybe you and your loved one haven't seen eye to eye, there's been some highs, there's been some lows, emotions have flared, maybe there's been a little bit of drama, but now you're hoping that, everyone can kind of set that aside, set aside the drama, set aside the ego, and, can't we all just get along? Like, let's, we can battle until we're blue in the face. We can battle with our egos, who's right, but is it really worth it? The Five of Wands in reverse is like, you are a little weary. You're weary, you're tired of the fighting, you're tired of the battle, or just not seeing eye to eye, or just having things, fighting against the grain, fighting against the flow. So I feel that you're entering this month with kind of a willingness to cooperate. You're willing to put your pride and your ego aside, and you're like, I would just rather get along, even if we can agree to disagree. We don't have to someone doesn't have to win. So I feel that there is definitely a willingness here, a softness, a sensitivity, and this may be difficult for you, Cancer, to do this. Like, this is not easy to do, to swallow your pride. But you realize that you're just not going to see eye to eye with someone or something, and it's time to find some common ground. It's time to compromise. So I feel that you're taking action. You're taking the steps to do this in your love and relationships. I mean, it can really go either way, because regardless whether this is your own personal internal battle or a relationship or an on and off relationship or a dating relationship, the Five of Wands in reverse can talk about something that was once pretty erratic, pretty, from one day to the next, you kind of didn't know what to expect, that now it's finally started to settle down a little bit. And there's stability is starting to form, and this is probably a big relief. I mean, like I said, if this is your emotions, maybe you're finally starting to see through everything, and just things are starting to settle down a little bit, and you're able to just kind of breathe a sigh of relief. And you're moving into this month with a hope of, calm and harmony, trying to be restored. I do feel that you're also keeping your independence. You're also keeping yourself in check, and you're really trying to respect not only yourself, but your partner's wishes as well. On the other hand, kind of the fear that could be lurking, or the possibility that could be lurking, is that this intensity, this drama, you're afraid that that is going to intensify, that there is also a potential. It's kind of like it's a sensitive issue, and arguments or explosions are not far away, and there's a fear or a possibility of that kind of creeping back into the situation. The other thing I'm picking up on, Cancer, is there's a fear of confrontation. Maybe you need to address something in your relationship, and this could even just be, for some of you, I'm sensing it's an internal battle. There's a shyness, there's a pulling away, like not wanting to deal with it, and that's understandable, Cancer, because you are a sensitive sign, and security and safety is important to you, and so having to address something that's volatile or intense, it's like, no, thank you. And we get that because we have, as far as the obstacle or to overcome, we have the Death card reversed. So now we're talking about the sign of Scorpio. So you could be dealing with a Scorpio. When the Death card reverses, there is a challenge here to refuse to accept some type of change that is happening. Or the change has already happened and there was a refusal to want to move on. It can also be mourning for the past, mourning for something in the past that you had, continuing mourning and grieving for something in the past that has not come back or will not come back. Now, this is not necessarily what you're going to do, Cancer, but this could be the challenge to overcome this month. And whenever we get around Valentine's and things that are sentimental, it does kind of bring back the past, and we are tempted to kind of go back to those memories. The challenge here is going to be to not get stuck in the past, or to not want to just live in our fantasies or the good times, or, when everything we kind of fantasize or idealize our partners in the past and those happy times. What that is going to do, though, is it's going to prevent you from moving forward. It just kind of keeps you stagnated and missing the present opportunities. The challenge is that change here is feared, and it's almost avoided. I feel that because of that, beliefs and patterns are kind of, and anyone that operates outside of this mindset or thought process, is like, the other thing for some of you is that something from the past, maybe Cancer, you have shut something down, you know that something's in the past, but something's coming back. Maybe because of the holiday and, romance, someone's feeling nostalgic and coming back to kind of like bring back issues, bring back emotions that you thought you had dealt with, that you thought you had completely solved. And so it's kind of, I don't want to say coming back to haunt you, but someone from the past that you thought was pretty much dead and gone, figuratively speaking, is coming back. The biggest thing I'm getting, though, is that there's a temptation to resist change and wanting to operate on old energy that is no longer sustaining you. And so the challenge here is going to be overcoming that, at least recognizing, being aware, and seeing things as they are, being honest with ourselves and with the patterns so that you can, move forward and be happy. So realization or outcome, we have the 9 of Wands in the reverse. So Cancer, I feel that, you are one of the most sensitive signs of the zodiac. You have a huge heart. You're incredibly loyal. And it takes a lot for you to give yourself to someone and to trust someone. And so if you've been hurt, there's, as that sign, there are sensitivities and issues that you have to resolve. And it feels like this month is going to be no exception for some of you. The 9 of Wands in reverse is just talking about that by the end of the month, you're going to have to protect yourself. You're just going to realize that you have to take care of you. You can't just put yourself out there, that you may feel a little more vulnerable this month. You may feel a little bit more sensitive. There may be things coming up from the past that you have to kind of face and kind of deal with, and just allow yourself, love yourself, be sensitive with yourself. Also, this may not even be you, Cancer. You may be dealing with someone that's kind of intense and aggressive and volatile, and I just feel like it's taken its toll. It's exhausting, and because of that, you intuitively sense this. You sense that all is, on edge in your relationships, or just in dating or in love, and so it's going to force you to be a little more vigilant and on guard and to protect yourself. I feel that you're just going to have to tread carefully during this time. And some of you, this is resurfacing trouble from the past. There's something from the past that needs to be dealt with. There's a pattern, there's a person, there's a situation where, the universe is only, and what I've realized, Cancer, is that if something comes up and it's making us feel icky or down or negative or depressed, it's nothing personal. This is your own subconscious, it's your own spirit, it's God, it's the universe bringing an issue up so you can heal it. So I don't want you to feel like you're not loved. I don't want you to feel like you did something wrong. If there's an issue that keeps resurfacing, or if you're battling within yourself, just know that this is for your good. There's a reason it's coming up. There's a reason that, you know, you're having to kind of do battle, whether this is with yourself or with others. And it's so that you can heal. It's so that you can face this. And as much as we want to like take it personally and like feel like the victim, or, you know, just go into a shell, try to step back and look at it objectively and know that you are loved, and know that this is your own soul's way of trying to move past something that has hindered you and not helped you. So I completely relate with this. This is actually something that I've kind of been going through. And at first I was frustrated with it. I was like, why do I keep getting the same results over and over and over again? Like, why do I keep running into the same thing? And I've really stepped back and said, you know what? I'm not going to respond the way that I normally respond. I'm not going to respond with the same old feelings and emotions. Like, I'm going to step back and see what the lesson is, like detach myself from ego and look at how can I grow from this? How can I love myself more? So really, I just think Cancer, the main thing about this month, this is about you. It's really not about anyone else. It's about your own ways of coping and mechanisms, and your willingness to give and receive love. And I feel like that's the main thing that's being addressed here. So I really hope this reading has helped you. If it has, as always, I would appreciate for you to like and subscribe to the channel. That's going to make sure you get all the messages, the tips and tools on how to manifest and be your highest and best self. Cancer, you know I appreciate you so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day.